You're making $120,000 a year. It's more money than 90% of people on the planet will ever see. And you're broke, not just broke, trapped, because the money isn't yours. It's already spent before it hits your account. Here's where it goes. The luxury car lease, $800 a month, because you need to look successful in the parking lot. The designer wardrobe, because you can't show up to client meetings in last season's suit. The expensive apartment in the right neighborhood, because your address signals your status. The $4,000 vacation to Santorini, because your Instagram feed needs to prove you've made it. You're not living, you're performing. The performance costs everything you earn. This is the golden handcuff. The salary is high enough that you can't afford to quit, but it's never high enough to actually be free, because every raise comes with a lifestyle upgrade. You make $80,000, you get the nicer apartment. You make $120,000, you lease the BMW. You make $150,000, you upgrade to the condo with the parking space. The more you earn, the more you spend. And the gap between income and freedom never closes. This isn't an accident. It's the system working exactly as designed. Companies don't pay you well because they're generous. They pay you just enough to keep you dependent. The salary is the bait. The lifestyle inflation is the trap. Because once you've leased the car, signed the apartment lease, bought the wardrobe, and built the life that signals success, you can't leave. You're locked in, not by the job. By the expenses the job enabled. You're making six figures and living paycheck to paycheck. Not because you're irresponsible. It's because you're playing a game designed to keep you playing forever. And the only way out isn't earning more. It's refusing to play. Let's go back to 1899. Thorstein Veblen, an economist, publishes a book called Asterisk, The Theory of the Leisure Class Asterisk. In it, he introduces a concept that explains everything you're living through right now. Conspicuous consumption. Here's the idea. People don't buy expensive things because they're useful. They buy them to signal status, to show they can afford waste. The mansion you don't need. The watch that costs more than a car. The designer handbag, with no more function than a $20 tote. None of it is about utility. It's about display. Veblen called it conspicuous consumption. It's buying things not to use them, but to be seen owning them. The entire economy of status is built on it. But here's the twist. Veblen noticed something else. The truly wealthy don't do this. The aristocrats, the old money, the people with generational wealth, they don't need to signal. They already have status, so they dress plainly, live quietly, spend carefully. It's the newly rich, the strivers, the people trying to prove they belong, who spend ostentatiously because they're insecure. They need the symbols to validate their position. Fast forward 2,000 years earlier to ancient Rome. The Senate passes sumptuary laws. Legal limits on what people can spend on luxury goods. Why? Because conspicuous consumption was destabilizing society. The middle class was bankrupting itself, trying to look like the elites. Families were going into debt to throw lavish banquets and buy imported silks they couldn't afford. The elites didn't care about the spending itself. They cared that it was causing social unrest, so they passed laws to cap it, not to protect the middle class, to keep them in their place. The same dynamic exists today, except now there are no sumptuary laws. There's just marketing. Endless, sophisticated, algorithmic marketing designed to convince you that you need the watch, the car, the handbag, the vacation, to prove you've succeeded, and it works. You're not buying the car because you need transportation. You're buying it because it signals that you're successful. The apartment isn't about shelter. It's about the address. The wardrobe isn't about clothing. It's about the label. You're performing wealth to an audience that doesn't care, spending money you don't have to impress people who are doing the same thing. Meanwhile, the actually wealthy, the people with real financial freedom, they're not playing this game. Warren Buffett lives in the same house he bought in 1958. Mark Zuckerberg wears a $10 t-shirt. They don't need symbols. They have freedom. You're spending to look rich. You're spending to stay free. And that's the difference. So what does the system tell you when you realize you're trapped in the status game? Budget better. Cut unnecessary expenses. Sure, you cancel the $15 Netflix subscription, you stop buying lattes, you save $200 a month. Meanwhile, your rent goes up $300, your car lease is non-negotiable, and you still need the wardrobe for work. You didn't fix the problem, you just optimized the trap. And more. Get promoted. Great, your income. Great, you grind harder. You get the raise. $150,000 now instead of $120,000. And within 6 months, you've upgraded your apartment, leased a better car, and started eating at nicer restaurants. Your expenses rose with your income. The gap didn't close. It just shifted upward. Vest. Build wealth over time, right? You put 10% of your income into index funds. That's $1,000 a month. In 30 years, if the market cooperates, you'll have maybe $1.5 million. Congratulations. You can retire at 65 with the same lifestyle you have now, except older and more tired. The system's solutions aren't designed to free you. They're designed to keep you productive, keep you grinding, keep you consuming. Because the moment you stop playing the status game, the moment you stop spending to signal success, entire industries collapse. The luxury car market, the designer fashion industry, the high-end real estate market, all of it depends on people like you, earning good money and immediately spending it on symbols. You're not building wealth. You're funding someone else's. The real solution isn't budgeting or earning more or investing smarter. It's recognizing that the status game is rigged and the only winning move is not to play. And that requires leaving the environment where status is measured by consumption. Rural Spain, inland Portugal, southern Italy, small towns where nobody cares what car you drive because everyone walks, where nobody notices your clothes because everyone's wearing practical, comfortable basics, where status isn't measured by what you own, but by how you live. Oh. Here's what opting out looks like. You buy a small house in a hilltop town in Andalusia or Umbria or central Portugal, Euro 30,000, cash, no mortgage. It's not impressive, it's stone, it's old. It has thick walls, a tile roof, and a view of olive groves. It's not Instagram-worthy by city standards, but it's yours, completely. Your monthly expenses, property tax, maybe 150 euros per year. Utilities, 60 euros per month. Food from the local market, 250 euros. Internet, 25 euros. Total, 400 euros per month. That's $430. Less than your old car payment. You work remotely, freelance, consulting. Part-time 20 hours a week generates $3,000 to $4,000 per month. Your burn rate is $430. The rest yours, actually yours, not earmarked for a lease or a mortgage or a wardrobe refresh. Now here's the shift. In this town, nobody cares about your car because you walk everywhere. No. Nobody cares about your clothes because the dress code is clean and comfortable. Nobody cares about your job title because you're measured by different metrics. Are you present? Do you show up to the piazza in the evening? Do you help your neighbor fix their roof? Do you share your olive harvest? Do you have time for long lunches and long conversations? That's status here. Time, presence, generosity, health, the things that actually matter. The wealthiest person in the village isn't the one with the nicest car. It's the one with the most free time. The one who can spend 3 hours at lunch without checking their phone. The one who takes August off entirely, not because they're on vacation, but because that's just life. Stealth, wealth, the real kind. Not the billionaire in the hoodie, but the freelancer in the hilltop town who owns their time and their life. Compare that to your current reality. You're making $120,000. You're leasing a car to look successful. It's wearing designer suits to signal competence. Living in an expensive apartment to prove you've made it. And you're stressed, exhausted, and one layoff away from financial disaster. You're performing wealth while being broke. You're signaling status while being trapped. In the hilltop town, you're making $40,000 per year working part-time. You own your house. You have no debt. You spend $5,000 per year on living expenses. You have $35,000 surplus. That's real wealth, not income. Surplus. Money that's actually yours. And the status markers, they're different. You're not trying to impress strangers with a watch. You're living a life people actually envy. Time, health, community, peace. The golden handcuffs don't work if you're not playing the status game. The car lease means nothing if you don't need a car. The designer wardrobe is irrelevant if nobody's judging you by your clothes. The expensive apartment is absurd if you can own a house for the price of 6 months' rent. You're not downgrading, you're upgrading. It's from a high-income performance to a low-cost, high-freedom life. From conspicuous consumption to intentional living. From golden handcuffs to actual autonomy. The system can't trap you with lifestyle inflation if you refuse to inflate your lifestyle. And you can only refuse if you're in an environment where status isn't measured by consumption. That environment exists. Right now. In places that never bought into the status game because they never needed to. Here's the reality. The status game never ends. There's always a nicer car, a bigger apartment, a more expensive watch. The goalposts move every time you get close, because the game isn't designed to be won. It's designed to be played forever. And the cost isn't just money. It's time. It's health. It's freedom. Every dollar you spend on status symbols is a dollar you could have spent buying your time back. Every year you work to maintain the lifestyle is a year you didn't get to live on your terms. Or you could leave. Stop performing. Stop signaling. Stop caring about what strangers think of your car, or your clothes, or your job title. Move to a place where status is measured differently, where the wealthiest person is the one with the most time, not the most stuff. Where success is a long lunch, not a corner office. The math is simple. Take the $3,000 per month you're currently spending on lifestyle inflation, car lease, wardrobe, expensive rent, performative vacations. Redirect it. Buy a house outright. Eliminate your burn rate. Work less. Live more. You'll have more freedom on $40,000 with no expenses than you ever had on $120,000 with golden handcuffs. This isn't about poverty. It's about clarity, knowing what actually matters and refusing to trade it for symbols that don't. Start now. Calculate what you're spending on status. The car, the apartment, the clothes, the trips. Add it up and look at what you could buy with that money instead. Land, a house, time, freedom. Your great-grandparents didn't measure success by their car. They measured it by whether they own their land and their time. You can have that too. If this changes how you see wealth and status, subscribe. I'm mapping the exits from the performance economy. Stop performing success. Start living it.